Everything that you guys are about to see for the next 40 minutes is purely for entertainment purposes. I was pretty much being a little bit dramatic, a little bit silly, wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness. I love everybody playing in the HSR community. You are alright and everyone is alright. Hey guys, Mr. Overworked here. So this is gonna be a much more lower cortisol video because we have been streaming for 10 hours consecutively and I am absolutely cooked. For today, we are finally gonna be able to take a look into our greatest source of information, Prydwen.gg, and seeing how Blade is gonna be placing on the tier list update as well as any other relevant tier list update, right? So without further ado, what is the update that they made this time? Okay, you know what? Let's just take a peek here. 1st of June, we are adding Mordenix to the tier list, updating the positions of a few key characters. I am guessing Acheron, Asheville, Facial, because Facial also works, right? Making our usual updates based on the pure fiction update. Tackle current MOC and wider changes outside of Mordenix Blade in an upcoming update. Mordenix Blade, at the time of this release, Mordenix cuts. Oh, this guy is funny because he's a blade. Alright, this guy is pretty funny. Cuts straight to the top as well as the most potent amplifiers in the game. So without it's any surprise that he finds it tier 0 in all modes. Tier 0 in all modes within the amplifier category. In addition to his amplification abilities, Mordenix is very capable of dishing out strong amounts of damage, making meaningful contributions. Considering playing a support DPS category as well, but opted to keep things simple. If Mordenix based support damage will become more prevalent, makes sense to have him as both an amplifier and support damage. We'll add him there in a future update. God damn. Acheron. Similar to how Firefly, as in Godfly, sorry, Resurgence with Dahlia, Acheron's time is finally here with the release of Mordenix. With a powerful new best and slot option support that dramatically increases Acheron's performance, we are raising her up by 1 to 2 positions in every mode. I expect her power level to fall, but I have also added a watch list, and we may make adjustments based on widespread data. AS tier 1, MOC tier 0.5. and pure fiction 0.5. Wow, wow, wow. Mordenix can be used just alongside Acheron, absolutely. And then the pure oh, that's it. Wait, they didn't update Asheville. Okay, that was pretty surprising. Pure fiction, Silver Wolf, and Hee. We're unsure of how effective Silver Wolf's kit will be in pure fiction, given its targeting profile. However, she is performing above our expectations, raising Silver Wolf and her main partner Sparksea to tier 0. In addition, we are making a number of other adjustments to make sure the meta lines are respected and characters that aren't meta are ranked in closer to the off-meta section. I see. What? Oh, wait, that's good. Characters that gain momentum are being accurately placed, such as Facial, who has started to see an uptick in play for pure fiction, meaning that Facial is actually on the uptick. Right? More players are opening their fucking eyes to the glory of the strongest DPS in the entirety of HSR. So with that being established, let's take a peek at the actual tier list right here. Whoa. Whoa. 0, 0, 0. The tier 000 Mordenix Blade in the same tier as Cyrene, Margot, Dahlia, EMC, whoa, as well as Yao Guang. Absolutely exceptional right now. And then for our tier 0. Okay, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be that guy. But why didn't Fei Xiao get bumped up when Azrael came out? I think that is a little bit silly, don't you think? Considering how absolutely fucking insane Azrael... Hey, fuck it. At this point, how the hell is Blade tier 0 and Azrael in tier 1? Because, bro, I'm getting a little bit pissed off, bro. I'm getting a little bit pissed off. Because by this definition where Azrael is getting dragged down by Fei Xiao, why the fuck is Blade not getting dragged down by Akron? Because Blade is definitely getting dragged down by Akron, since the highest performing damage with Blade is literally not Akron and is with Azrael, right? So at the end of the day, chat, at the end of the day, right, I do believe if this is gonna be at a triple tier 0, how in the actual fuck is Fei Xiao gonna remain in tier 1 and Akron remaining in tier 0.5? An entire 2-tier jump up where both of them literally had the exact same back-to-back classic formula of adding a fucking man to make their damage go up. So if Azrael is here and Fei Xiao is here, there's no fucking way that either Blade is gonna be at tier 0 and Azrael is gonna be at tier 0.5. Alright, so I think this is absolutely fucking dog shit. Absolutely unacceptable. You know what? The title of this video is Prydwen has done lost their fucking minds, because this is absolutely fucking unacceptable behavior, right? And not to mention, chat, not to mention, can we just be for real? This is an E0 S1 tier list, right? It's an E0 S1 tier list. Right? Bro, Akron's S1 legitimately holds so little value with Blade compared to Fei Xiao's S1 with Azrael, bro. Because this shit is gonna be hitting 100% defense or at least super fucking close to it. I will guarantee you at E0 S1 that Azrael is gonna be able to do way more with Fei Xiao than the E0 S1 Akron combined with a Blade, bro. So this is absolutely fucking unacceptable. Nuh-uh.
The greatest Fei Xiao agenda pusher that has ever lived.
No, I legitimately simply just refuse to accept this, because this is just slander to the highest fucking degree. Anyone with 2 fucking eyes playing this game tell this is... Okay, I'm not saying that Akron is not deserving of tier 0.5. I am basically just saying Akron is not deserving of tier 0.5. Right? I am basically just saying that Fei Xiao will completely pack up Akron's bum ass for 10,000 different endgame rotations, bar none. And the only fucking reason that Akron will ever come up against Fei Xiao is because of anomaly arbitration. If you want to talk about anomaly arbitration, fine. Fine. Because that fucking king is literally designed with Akron in mind. Alright? Where else have you ever seen an anomaly boss where every single buff, or rather debuff, will get applied when you kill a mob? Which gives Akron 5 billion stacks of slash dreams. So if she wanna be tier 0.5 in any game mode, sure, right? In anomaly arbitration, absolutely not at 0.5, 0.5 tier 1 for mod pure fiction as well as a pokke shield. If anything, to be completely fair, her AS actually should be tier 0.5. Because the current AS right now has Kerberbest, which gives her debuffs, which is a really, really good matchup. So, Akron, a more accurate, get it? A more accurate representation, it should pretty much be tier 1 mock, tier 1 pure fiction, and tier 0.5 APOC shadows. And the reason why she's tier 1 pure fiction is literally because if you take away Akron, slap in Blade, slap in Tribi, slap in Azrael, and slap in Hyacinth, you are gonna do way, way, way more. It's not because Akron is fucking contributing at E0 S1, it's because Blade and Azrael is so fucking strong at their respective cost investments, right? So at this current point, right, there's literally no fucking reason that Acheron is gonna be at tier 0.5 for no one but 2 different endgame content where she's literally straight up homeless without blade, bro. So with all due respect, this is definitely not the same tier as okay, you know what? I think Finon E0 at tier 0.5 is pretty acceptable. Right, this is pretty acceptable. Anexa honestly feels a little bit high. Because if we're talking E0 Anexa, with like what? E0 Cyrene and an E0 Savija, this is low-key kind of pushing it. Like, are we really gonna say he's gonna be a tier 0.5 in pure fiction when we barely even see D Herda anymore? Okay, this is just collateral damage. I'm so sorry, Anexa and Phylon. But Aggron definitely does not fucking deserve to be here. Especially not when Face Out is 1-1. That's just fucking insane, bro. That is legitimately fucking insane. So absolutely unacceptable. This is absolute fucking dog. I have never been so fucking angry at a fucking tier list.
The greatest Fei Zhao agenda pusher that has ever lived
In my entire life, because the amount of lies, misinformation being handed out to the public is absolutely unacceptable, right? So there's gonna be my final thoughts on this absolutely fucking garbage take. In any case, you know what? Let's just take a look at M-Blade's review real quick, right? Blah 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 blah. Wait, where is the review real quick? Okay, whoa. Peerless performance as a true universal support. Competitive performance as a dedicated DPS. Extremely versatile team options. Extreme survivability with high HP and damage reduction. Very difficult to die because he can defy death consistently. Has greatly increased aggro and force taunt to increase team survivability. Extremely significant amplifying effects that are easy to maintain. Turns out debuff amplification like it's going out of style. The absolute best in slot support for aggro without question. Excellent energy economy. Powerful vertical investment options. What do you mean Bro, who the fuck is this writer, bro? Bro, who the fuck is this writer? Bro, like, what the fuck am I actually reading, bro? Like, this guy is paid off literally by Dawei to glaze blade like the rank 1 blade glazer, bro. That is actually kinda... Okay, if I go by the Azure, right? I'm gonna look at Azure's review and see what Azure's review is gonna say right here. Alright? Okay. Why is this so short? Why? Why? Wait, where is the part where we have... Well, okay, I'm gonna compare Azure's writing to Blade's writing right now. Bro, something fishy is going on, guys. Because I swear to fucking God, this editor is like... He's doing tricks, bro. Bro, what is this, bro? What is this, bro? Bro, his con literally says he's about to be an incredibly con... How the actual fuck is that a con? How is that a con, bro? So basically you're saying he has no cons. There's no downsides. M-Blade is the closest thing to a Mars pool, and everyone and their mom should be pulling for M-Blade because everyone and their moms are gonna be using M-Blade. I think this writer is kinda... Bro, I don't know who the fuck this writer is. Yo, Andrew, fire this guy. There's no fucking way this guy is giving you objective fucking reviews, which explains why we have a dog shit fucking tier list placement by slandering the best DPS in the entirety of HSR. And this is not even like Mr. Overworked here. So this is gonna be a much more lower cortisol video because we have been streaming for 10 hours consecutively and I am absolutely cooked. Azure's fault. Or Face Out's fault. It's just that the writer is on some crazy ass fucking shit, bro. Like the amount of writing that we're gonna be seeing over here. Oh wait, I see the writer, bro. Wait, is this the guy? Susho. Did you write the same thing for Azure? Or was Azure by another guy? Was Azure by another guy? Oh! So it's the same guy. So it is the same guy. So how the actual fuck is the same guy gonna say all that for M-Blade and then say this. I'm not even talking about Fei Xiao. I'm talking about Ash Veil, bro. I am talking about Ash Veil. Because can we just be fucking... Okay, come back to fucking planet Earth, right? Come back to planet Earth. If you're gonna be pulling for Emblade as a wheelchair, best in sword performance, you need Ash Veil in this team. It is what it is. Current best in sword team, Ash Veil, Blade, Tribi, Slap-on, Hyacinth. You go ahead and go for it, right? If that is gonna be the case, fine. But like the disparity right now between Ash Veil and Blade is scary, bro. It's scaring me. I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry from the amount of inconsistency in bro's writing style. Because there's no fucking way you're glazing this guy like he is like bro, this literally reads like E0 Cyrene if E2 is built into E0. You know, I'm gonna take a look at Cyrene's review right now. I am so fucking upset. I am so fucking upset. Okay, let me see what bro... Is this gonna by the same guy again? Oh! So this is bro's review for Cyrene. Alright? I think this is a... Okay, first of all, this is a very fair review, right? I think this is a relatively fair review. You do list out the pros, right? You do list out the cons, right? I mean, it is a very, very fair take. So what the actual fuck happened from this and this to this, bro? How do you justify this? So here's why I'm so upset. And it's not Fei Xiao, chat. I swear I am being this worked up not because of Fei Xiao. I don't give a flying fuck about what happens to Fei. It is not because of Fei Xiao. Because number one, Fei Xiao can also use Blade. I should be happy that Fei Xiao is gonna be getting a Blade that can take bro to tier 0. Because we literally just did our first try 0 cycle run of Fei Xiao, right? I'm happy because Fei Xiao can use the exact same character that he is gonna be given to Acheron, to Ash Veil, to any other DPS, which frankly speaking, you're gonna be running Fei Xiao, Acheron, as well, or Fei Xiao, Ash Veil, and Blade anyways. But the reason why I'm so upset is because if any normal, casual player, right, if they read this review, I'm not joking anymore, chat, right? Maybe just now I was like being a little bit over dramatic, right? I am not joking anymore. I'm saying this like very, very low causally. If any normal casual player sees this review, they are probably gonna pull him. Like, what the hell else? How can you not? How can you not pull a character by Prydwen stamp of approval where he is about to become an incredibly contested character? So you're basically saying everyone and their moms are gonna be having some kind of value because everyone is gonna contest trying to use Emblade. Alright? But realistically saying, are you gonna use Emblade with Elation? Maybe, right? Maybe. So stainless. You could. Are you gonna use Emblade with your break team? With your Firefly? Maybe you could, right? Okay, all these you could what ifs. If you want to run them sustainless, you always could. Right? You always could. But casual players will never, ever reach that level of investments, either in builds or cost, to make that team work, bro. This is the equivalent of... Okay, imagine if I was a casual. I want to play Elation. I pull for Silverwolf. I pull for Sparksy. Right? Now I'm gonna go on to my favorite website, Prydwen.gg. Should I pull for Yao Guang? Or should I pull for Emblade? So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at Yao Guang's review, right? Yao Guang's review right now. Wait, that's quite a lot of cons, guys. Oh, extremely high energy costs. Oh, full potential is low and needs more elation units. Alright. Then I look at Blade. Oh. Incredibly contested. As a casual player, if I see this side by side, my first glance, okay, assuming I know nothing about the game, right? My first glance, if I just see this dude, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Since he's about to become an incredibly... This shit is under a con, bro. Now, obviously, as a casual, I am just gonna fucking pull for this buckle, right? So, personally, I am... Oh, this can't skip. I am just gonna wrap it up here. This is the biggest amount of agenda posting. This is the most blatant amount of agenda posting I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. So, edit what I do, edit what I do, fuck this shit. In any case, I'm gonna move on into the pure fiction tier list right now. Keep reading. Okay, before I keep reading, is it gonna make me less angry and I will apologize to Susho? Or is it gonna make me more angry because he's agenda posting even more? Oh, Clueless? The strongest fixer. Okay. He's so much so that he is acron for what the Daria is to Firefly. Excellent vertical. Oh, and he's a tank. Oh, and a follow-up attack. Absurd. Absurd. Holy crap. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear has been forged. Mordenix's blade is nothing short of legendary. Combining the benefits of support and DPS into one package with all of the upsides and none of the none of the fucking negatives. This is unquestionably the strongest single unit in the game right now. Bro, this guy is hired by Dawei, bro. This is a Dawei's Ghost Rider, planted in by Prydwen. Bro got paid $500,000 to write an article for Blade, and then bro gets 20% of all Blade sales commissions, because there's no fucking way there's this amount of dick sucking I've ever seen in any Prydwen. Okay, Yao Guang. I just don't know how the hell did we change from this to this, bro. Like, it is a pretty decent review, right? Right? Talking about the abilities, talking about the speed, right? Punch and said, okay, I think bro's like, okay, don't worry about it. But like, my point is, I've never seen something like this just unequivocally approved by Prydwen and just pasted right in under the review. Can you check normal play? Everything fits seamlessly together now. The kit flows like water, and it results in... This is Green Blade, by the way. This is Green Blade. Green Blade's power skyrocketing. But not just his power, but also his overall consistency and quality of life. I could honestly end the review here because this alone is already fantastic and is getting even... Okay, so I think I have this... Thank you, chat. thank you for bringing this to my attention because I have some very, 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 very clear sense of clarity as to why the review for Blade is gonna be as this. But even if bro is biased or not biased for Blade, right? It doesn't change the fact that the actual tier list is relatively fair, right? I think the tier list for these units are like relatively fair. It is just Blade has an obscene amount of like glaze for a brand new unit, which in case you guys forgot, right? Every single time a new unit comes out in HSR, Prydwen always places them conservatively, right? Like, I'm not lying here, right? Whether it was Silver Wolf, it was Firefly, it was like Yao Guang, it was Boxy, whenever a new unit comes out, they never ever instantly put them triple tier 0, especially at E0, because they know there are shield environments. Like, why are we pretending we are not having shield environments? And they know that as of this very moment, they are definitely gonna be the best in class for endgame content. But despite knowing that, we never ever put all units at triple tier 0. So I just don't really understand why the hell is this guy getting glazed so much on Prydwen. So if anyone knows the reason why, feel free to let me know. Was Evanesia triple tier 0? I'm pretty sure she wasn't, bro. Evanesia was triple tier 0. Was Silver Wolf triple tier 0? Silver Wolf was 0.5 in pure fiction. Okay, you know what, chat? Evanesia being triple tier 0 is just objectively a factual statement. Because she is objectively triple tier 0 as of this current elation environment. But at the same time, Silver Wolf honestly should be objectively tier 0. Because it is literally an elation environment. So there really isn't too big of a lie here. But cost-wise, they are judging E0 as one Evanesia, right? Because this is E0 as one Evanesia. Bro, I really feel E0 as one Evanesia, if you compare it to E0 as one Silver Wolf, I would have just given them like the similar rating on launch, bro. Because Silver Wolf, I'm assuming that Prydwen also just gave Silver Sparksy Yao Guang, right? And then they probably gave Evanesia like Yao Guang EMC or something. So if Silver Wolf couldn't get triple tier 0 on launch, it's like a little bit silly. Yeah, especially if Evanesia don't have it. Okay, why are we detrending again? Kinda go back to this particular thing. Wait, do you think the reason why this rating is here is because he thought Blade was E1? I think that might be a reason, right? Like, he probably ranked Blade as E1 as 0. Instead of E0 as 1. Maybe he misread. Or he mistyped. E1 as 0. I think if this was the case, I can kind of see this as to be like a little bit more fair. But our test after I'm done with this series, I kind of just feel, right? After the Trivia Hyacinth wheelchair incident from back in version 3 happened, which was really good, no less, right? Trivia Hyacinth, they were also back in my days. This was triple tier 0. Right, if y'all were around for around, this was basically triple tier 0 alongside Hyacinth on every single team. We just basically used that to like, I think it was like 0 or 1 cycle every single endgame. But the moment the environment went away, if players put Tribby and Hyacinth for the sake of endgame performance, i.e. their wheelchair performance, they are gonna be ending up with a unit that they can't slot into a team that they want to use. So if they put for Tribby and Hyacinth to wheelchair their Jingyuan to tier 0, right? Wheelchair their Jingyuan to like 0 cycle, whatever it's gonna be, right? but they didn't manage to save their costs, logging into like specific team comps that will be way less restrictive compared to the shielding environments, because a big component as to why wheelchair works is because of the shielding environments. If the shielding environments for Emblade were to go away, be it in like, you know, whenever Himeko, maybe Himeko even works, who knows, but like maybe towards the end of version 4 or at the start of version 5, which is around the same time frame where like the Tribi wheelchair started to collapse, you're gonna be left with a unit that worked very well for that 2 to 3 endgame rotations. Then you're gonna be stuck with this unit and the other unit, in which you're probably not gonna be able to make use of, unless you decide to make a team around Blade. Right? You could pull Blade for Blade, and then if you want to pull a team with Blade, you are most likely gonna end up committing to Asheville. Alright? Then it depends on who their main DPS is, because they are clearly not meant to play as a main DPS. And then from that path, you could go ahead and bring them to a viable option. But if you go through this path, you are low-key almost like kind of forced into pulling for Blade, because if you don't commit into the wheelchair going forward, you are gonna be ending up with this team that can't really do the same wheelchair principles anymore, and you have no DPS to run main DPS Blade with, or rather sub DPS Blade with, because he's essentially the greatest unit of all time, right? The legendary supports and DPS into one package. But by the time version 5 rolls around, I'm willing to be absolutely fucking cocksure he is just gonna follow the same exact footsteps as Tribi, as Babin, as Ranmei. Because that is what happens to every single wheelchair support in the game, bro. There will never be a generative support that will stay here forever. It is just for that one version, that few couple of endgame, they have the right environments, they have the right DPS, bada boom, bada bing. But when it goes away, you have nothing left. You'll have a tier 1 support that you might feel inclined to pull for an upgrade over that tier 1 support. So my 2 cents is as good as he is right now, right? As good as he is right now, I think this glaze is just a little bit too high for a website that prides itself on objectivity, neutrality, and conservative ratings, giving players a more fair assessment of the landscape in HSR, right? So that is pretty much gonna be there. In any case, I'm just gonna wrap up this pure vision part real quick because I think we crashed out a little bit long so far. Silver Wolf, tier 0, triple tier 0 with Evidency, Sparksy, Casterus, and Evernight. We have sub DPS Sparksy as triple tier 0. Okay. And then everyone else here is gonna be at tier 0.5. Ooh, Maide is the same tier as the Erda now. That is very, very interesting. Yeah, final at E0 is probably not gonna cook too well in pure fiction. And these units at E0 is just respectfully a little bit cool. Okay, I'm not even gonna comment on Facial anymore because I'm gonna crash the fuck out. And then we do have ourselves the M-Blade as triple tier 0 with Cyrene, RMC, Tribi, as well as Yao Guang. I'm guessing EMC is not gonna be at pure fiction tier 0 because for times that you can use Sparksy's bounce attack, you can make use of Sparksy's bounce attack. So that is the... I would honestly review Car's placement a little bit. I genuinely cannot remember a time I was like, oh my god, Car would be like insanely good here. Unless you run Sustainless, right? But the thing with running Sustainless is you have a lot of options to run Sustainless. Like, you don't need to run Car, right? Bro, you have Blade Sustainless, right? You have Blade Sustain. Blade, Tribi, Asheville, right? Sustainless, Yao Guang, Sustainless, Elation, Sustainless Break. None of them really uses Cypher. And for units that do use Cypher, you can always just use someone else in a Sustain setup. Okay, especially now that Blade came out, I think Cypher probably needs to go down to around this year. So that would be a little bit, like, she doesn't feel meta, right? Which is like the entire definition. I don't think Cypher is really like meta. She is like a off-meta niche pick that she could still work, but she doesn't feel meta, right? So, and then what to do? Hyacinth here is chill. DHPT is kind of just chilling over here. Lingsha, honestly, with Emblade, can potentially go up, because you could use the bunny to stack on quite a bit of debuffs with Akron. So that's gonna be a potential option there. All of the other sustains is not gonna be doing too interesting. I will test out all of the Blade teams when we get to all of the Blade teams right here. Alright. I'm not sure how many Blade teams are gonna be. Sarah, cook them teams. I will do them all. Thank you. Alright, yeah, but we'll get through to the tier list in just a
Blade's
second.
downside is that other main DPS will prefer other supports due to how Hoyo sells bundle of characters over individuals. It's hard to deny his ridiculous overtuned amplifying kit.
I see. Also, thank you so much for the 1000 BTs, Bobby. Blade's weakness is not that he is a good wheelchair. Because fundamentally, if you pull for a unit in HSR, from performance perspective, it is to see who clears the fastest, right? Like, that's just black and white. That's why people who chase meta, they will want to chase what is that best one cost upgrade to make their team do way better. Blade at one cost makes Akron do way better. Blade at one cost makes Azure do way better. Blade at one cost can do a sustainers with Triby Azure, and they can just pretty much make like a lot of DPS do way better. So cost for cost, as of this very moment, him being a wheelchair is a pro, right? It is a benefit because you can kind of just slot him into a lot of these different teams, since the environment right now favors him. It is just more so that I feel like these kind of characters in general, they are not as long-sighted. Because you are essentially pulling this thing without the objective of a DPS you want to build in mind. So, I have an excellent example, by the way. I have an excellent example, right? Jiao Qiu. Right, Jiao Qiu. Excellent example. So I think we don't really need to deny that Jiao Qiu back in his days, right? I'm not saying now, but back in those days for Jiao Qiu, it was an undeniable one cost upgrade to an Akron team, right? Everyone that played Akron put a fucking Jiao Qiu. Ezreal, Azure, slap it over, you get a debuff, you get a stack. Akron was tier 0, right? So that was your one cost upgrade. But at the same time, people could also recognize, okay, Jiao Qiu's main utility and benefits is mainly tied to your Akron. So if you as a player are not gonna be playing Akron, there will be less players tempted into pulling Jiao Qiu. There are some cope people saying that, oh, Jiao Qiu works with Argenti. I know exactly who said that, by the way. Alright, Jiao Qiu works with Yun Li, right? Jiao Qiu works with ultimate damage. You could do that, right? He could be a slight upgrade back then, but if you're not even going to be sticking with those units anyways, you are going to be invested in a very short-term team. Alright? But on the flip side, if you were an Akron main, worst come to worst, you put a Ezreal, Azure, Jiao Qiu. Jiao Qiu gets power crept by Emblade. In every sense of the word, Jiao Qiu is literally power crept by Emblade. You lost one cost. Who the actual fuck cares, bro? Like, you wasting that one cost, number one, do you really waste it? Because when you actually pull Jiao Qiu back then, you did gain value out from his impact with Akron. Compared to another player that wastes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 costs to pull for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different DPS and leave all of them at like Ezreal. Right? So I feel like units like Blade, it will incentivize players going down that path more frequently, because now with a wheelchair support, more players will be like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna put for whatever DPS I want, because Blade can work with whatever DPS. It is the direct opposite of Jiao Qiu, especially if a review for Blade is gonna say something like this, right? Like, bro literally has no cons. So if you package Blade as a character like this, that he is like the most universal unit that everyone can make use of, when in reality, chances are he is most likely gonna be tuned down to a few restricted teams. Which is kind of also what happens to all the other general supports anyways, right? Rame eventually got pivoted down to break, and then she got replaced. Babin got pivoted down to follow up our tag team. She is low-key slowly getting replaced. Tribi got pivoted down to either your D Herda, or maybe for your Remembrance mains, if you skipped out on Cyrene. Like, no matter how general, how wheelchair a unit is gonna be, there will come a day where if you don't play those teams that those units were originally intended to build for, you are gonna waste that cost, right? And that chance of you wasting that cost, I'd rather players waste 1 cost on a support than waste 3 costs on multiple DPS that they want to give up. So that is like my thought process behind why I really think this is a very, very unhealthy way to rate Blade on launch by saying that he is just gonna be, he's gonna fix everything, right? Which he does. But what's the cost? So that is pretty much going to be my 2 cents. Okay, all these that I'm saying right now, it technically doesn't really matter if Goryo do Goryo things again, right? Because we know Goryo is Goryo. If this was any other gacha game, maybe not. But, maybe Goryo bars Babin, right? Goryo bars Rame. Goryo gives Aircon a Noah flare. Goryo gives Xiao Qiu a Noah flare. Who the actual fuck knows? So I'm saying all this based on the present information I have now. And if Goryo is gonna Goryo, then fantastic. But I would rather not take the chance and gamble on a gacha game company. And I would personally prefer to see if my prudent decisions make the most sense as of this current scenario, right? So that's okay, chat. We have yapped on for 40 minutes over this tier list, which is honestly a little bit high. But I'm just gonna wrap up right now. I am absolutely shocked at this Prydwen tier list update. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Word of the day is gonna be he is doing tricks on it. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, use code POKE for 10% off gamer subs. All the best for your gacha pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Wait, before I end off this video, preface, editor, put this in the intro. Everything that you guys are about to see for the next 40 minutes is purely for entertainment purposes. I was pretty much being a little bit dramatic, a little bit silly, wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness. I love everybody playing in the HSR community. You are alright, and everyone is alright. Add that at the start, okay? Add that at the start, because at the end of the day, like, it's just discussion, bro, right? It legitimately is just discussion at the end of the day, right? No one's gonna get hurt, right? So what if you pull Blade, skip Blade? It doesn't matter, bro. As long as you are happy, we are all happy. I did not crash out for 40 minutes because of M Blade. I started crashing out because I saw this, right? So that is the only reason.